Bring.
Yeah, that's what kind of Wednesday it is here on the Blue Review presented by LAX. I'm Marcus Grant with Greg Bergman and Parker Bell. What did you just do, Parker?
I don't know.
Whoa, where are you?
There we go.
You're
I entered.
floating.
That was wild. I don't know what that was. You just showed up in like the blue sky for a second. Definitely not blue skies in Dodgerland right now after just
Rain
an
clouds.
Incredibly frustrating, disappointing, maddening loss last night to the Philadelphia Phillies. 9-6 was the final score. A game which started so promisingly with Shohei just absolutely dealing with the offense, battling against a legitimate Cy Young candidate, and ending in familiar disappointment with the bullpen again pooping the bed and giving up a lot of runs late in the ball game. Greg, you were there last night. Although you left before Shohei hit number 50. I know
I did.
That's been 2 long nights for you, though. So.
Yeah, it was 2 nights because I went to. As we're here at 6:30 in the morning, I have to be here at 6 o'clock. I wake up at 5. I was tired after the game 2 nights ago when they went to extras, and I stayed the entire thing all the way to the end. Got home, didn't get to sleep till like 12 or whatever it was. I knew when I was going to this game for the second night in a row. I said, I'm leaving after the 6th inning. There's no matter what's going on, unless Shohei. So I was told I'm not going to.
Unless Shohei's throwing a no-hitter.
Yeah. So that was the conversation, right? Like it was Gene and I were watching. I said, we stay until Shohei is no longer in the game. As long as he goes, we go, and then we'll finish out whatever the next inning is. And that just happened to be the 6th inning. So that was the plan always, to leave after the 6th inning. I would have stayed longer if Shohei stayed in the game. Yeah. That's a whole nother topic conversation there, Marcus. Would you like to get into that?
We will get into that. We'll get into that and a whole lot more in just a bit. But first, I want to thank the folks at LAX, as always, transforming the travel experience, saving guests time. Looking forward to the People Mover train, hopefully early next year. For more information, go to flylax.com/transforminglAX. Well, Parker, as a former fan of the Angels,
no, he's there still.
Okay, still. You've seen plenty of Tungsten Arm O'Doyle starts. Last night might have been the crowning achievement of Tungsten Arm O'Doyle, becoming the first player in Major League history to have 50 home runs and strike out 50 guys as a pitcher, only to see his team give up 9 runs out of the bullpen and lose. This feels like an all-timer right now.
I think this takes the cake. Listen, all those other Tungsten Arm O'Doyle stats that have happened throughout the years never really meant anything because there were never any stakes. You weren't playing, maybe you were playing playoff teams, but you weren't playing any playoff implication games. And here we have a tough series against the Phillies, and the bullpen, once again, a no-hit bid lost to the undesirable bullpen. I don't think anybody would take this bullpen at the moment. Any team, they would take theirs over, even probably the dreaded Rockies. So you're looking at this situation. Shohei goes out, and obviously Robleski comes in and immediately gives up 3 singles in a row. Harper gets his double, and then the home run to Marsh, of all people, 5 singles in a row?
It was 5 hits.
Five hits in a row. Yeah, the 3 singles, a double, and the home run. Yeah.
I mean, speaking of Angels, for Marsh, of all people of the year he's having, that's the home run you give up to the 3-run. I don't know necessarily what's going on with Robleski at the moment. I guess we can break it down a little bit more, but it's just disheartening. If I were Shohei, if I were Yamamoto, if I were all these guys, I don't know. I might have some tough talks in the locker room here because it's about time where this nice guy stuff kind of has to end, and it's like, hey, get your bleep together, guys. Hey, at least it wasn't Tanner Scott.
Here's the thing. It's funny. I was seeing that of all the relievers who have pitched so far in this series, Tanner Scott's the only one who hasn't given up a run. So, we got that going for us.
Yeah.
Greg, I texted this last night. The lefty arms, especially the lefty arms out of the pen, Dave Roberts keeps bringing them in, I guess with the idea of trying to neutralize a heavily left-handed hitting lineup, right? I mean, we saw Bonda open in Monday's game, I guess to try and neutralize Schwarber and Harper, except he gave up a home run to Schwarber. He walked Harper. They bring in Vesia late on Monday night to try and face Schwarber and Harper. He gives up the home run to Harper. Last night, Robleski comes in, gives up the 3 hits, including a single to Schwarber, a double to Harper, the home run to Marsh. I mean, the lefty arms out of the pen are not doing the thing that they're supposed to do. I mean, I guess they're not doing anything, but they're especially not doing the thing they're supposed to do. I don't understand. There's no question there. I need to say that.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, everything you're saying is right, and it's incredibly frustrating. And this bullpen has turned into such a thing that there's not one person on there that is trustable. Not one. Vezina, as much like you said, gave the home run to Harper. That's a moment for Vezina to come through, and he did not. Treinen, you're like, okay, he's been pretty good for the most part. He gave up the run, even it was unearned, and because he let two guys just steal bases on the first pitch, which was very frustrating because he decided, I don't want to look over to first at least one time.
Which has been his thing, though. Like, it's not good, but it's consistent, I guess.
Yeah, but still, at the same time, just check over there, and you lost the game because of that. That is even if that's your thing, you can make a look over there that will keep them back. It doesn't take that long. It doesn't throw you out of your rhythm. Just freaking look over there. Either way, there's not one person now. Not one person in this bullpen that can be trusted. Not one. And that's my whole plan, the piggyback plan. I understand that it doesn't really work, and like you
looks better every day.
Yeah, because you're asking guys to do something they're not. I don't know if they can get through the playoffs without doing it. I don't know if there is another solution to this because not one of these guys is in a situation to be like, oh, great, blank is coming in. That's going to go well. Not one. Even Edgardo Henriquez, you're like, okay, well, maybe he's going to be this kind of the guy. Bam, gives up a jack too. All of them,
Kepler.
every single, it's to Kepler, exactly. It's every single one of these guys should not be available at this point. The piggyback plan is almost the only thing that can happen at this point. And there's no time left.
There's no time, and the home runs are frustrating enough, but it's some of the guys who are hitting the home runs, right? It's like, all right, you give a home run to Schwarber, dude's got 53 of them. Like, you're not the only one who got, right? You give a home run to Bryce Harper, yeah, man, he does that. They're giving home runs to Marchand and Weston Wilson and Kepler. Like, what? How is this happening? It's the guys at the bottom of the order who have done incredible damage against this bullpen. I'm looking at the bullpen. I'm just looking at the names right now.
None of them are good.
I'm like, Parker, there's nobody here that I have a significant level of trust in. I mean, maybe Bonda can get you an out. Maybe Vezina can get you
it's not Dreyer.
An out. But it's like, I don't feel great with Jack Dreyer coming in high leverage situations. We already know what we're getting from Tanner Scott. Blake Treinen seems to be declining. There's just bring back Ben Kasparius. I don't know where else we go. I mean, can we get high levy Lou Trevino back? Like, I don't know what we're doing at this point.
I listen. I hope that Kasparius has kind of found his confidence again down there in OKC, and then obviously Brock should be back very soon. So that's
walking dudes down in AAA. I'm sorry.
But I know that we don't put a lot of like, leverage and anything into the walks down below, because a few other guys were doing the same thing and came back, were okay. But then again, there's Kopech, who was literally walking every single batter he faced in OKC, and now he still is. So you should take some stock into it. That's true. But I don't know. Greg is correct. There is nobody. I know that I went on the hill that nobody else will die on the other day, saying I do trust Scott, but it's a different kind of trust, essentially. I just feel that there's still something there, but I don't know if that means that they're going to be performing like right now in this moment. So the fact of the matter is, the Dodgers, the offense finally, they've been showing out these last month, really, and they even did it again in this game, and then the bullpen blew it again. So it's like, you keep giving the team chances and the bullpen over and over and over.
That's the part that really made me the most upset last night, is that the lineup is battling. These guys are up there having good at-bats. They are fighting. Like, they got 4 off Christopher Sanchez. That's no small feat, the way this dude's been throwing this year. To get 4 runs off of him, it's kind of a big deal. Even after losing the lead, even after Wrobleski and Henriquez give up the runs, they come back and they tie the game. You get the Shohei home run. You get them battling and able to scratch out one more run to tie it. Like, yeah, it's frustrating they don't get the big hit, right? Like they still have a couple guys on and they can't drive in that go-ahead run. That is frustrating. But the fact that they came back again shows that this offense is not laying down. They're not going to roll over. And then just to have the bullpen just immediately give it away again, it's disheartening for us just sitting there watching. I can only imagine how disheartening it is when you put in the work in the dugout at the plate and see it get away like that. I mean, that's the part that has to just be mind-numbing at some point. You texted us last night, Greg, presumably from the ballpark, asking,
depends on what time it was.
Do you keep Shohei in?
Oh yeah,
and I was like, and my response was he's done, because I knew that for Dave Roberts it was never going to be a question. But I know, certainly within, I'm sure, a lot of text chats. I'm sure in this chat here, I know my dad texted me. I know a lot of people on social media were like, why would you do that? Is this one of those moments where maybe they need to break from their just strict plan of, Shohei 5 innings? I mean, at some point, do they have to show some flexibility here?
So, well, yeah, definitely. I mean, that's the short answer. But also, it depends on what you're looking at. Are you looking at innings pitched or are you looking at pitch count? Because those are two very different things. If it's innings pitched, like, sure, I get it, but he was at 68, 69 pitches at that point.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 68 pitches like that. He's in a good space at that point. Just because he went 5 innings, that shouldn't be the matter. I understand it's the whole up and down of the whole thing in bed, but I think he's done it before, and he's been pitching. I think that today was his 13th or 14th start, or yesterday was his 13th or 14th start. So, I mean, he's been going. I don't know how much restrictions you still need to have on him, or you're just being careful with him. And we had Beto on here yesterday saying that there's no restrictions on him anymore. There's no more pitch count restrictions on him. And that seems to be what it was. It was the innings. And I understand the whole up and downness of it all, but let him go, dude. Like, just let him go. What is the point? Now maybe Justin Robleski comes in later and still gives it up, but let him go what he needs to. Let him go into the 6th inning and let him see what he can do. It should be more about pitch count in my mind, right? Like, if you're going to hold him to it, if he wants to go 80 pitches or 90 pitches, let's see that he can actually do that in the postseason. I mean, I honestly hope that they let him go further in the postseason, because all of this is saying you have to go 7, 8, 9 innings or the bullpen is going to destroy it for you. This is not something that's okay.
That's the thing, right? It's about getting innings now out of your guys, because you just can't trust those guys coming out of the pen to give you anything of quality right now. And that, I mean, it's literally across the board. And I guess some of it, Beto was on here yesterday and had a lot of great information. If you go back and if you missed it, go back and check it out from yesterday's show. I don't know if this is, just guys. If it is guys are wearing down, because obviously the bullpen had to shoulder a whole lot of the load the first couple months of the season when the starting pitching just couldn't get its act together. I don't know if it's that's coming back to bite them, or Parker, if it's just Father Time has caught up to Blake Trinan. I mean, definitely I think Kirby Yates for sure. If Tanner Scott has been some kind of psyop sent to us by the San Diego Padres or what. I don't know. I mean, it does feel maybe a little bit like that the bullpen's just run out of gas at this point, which is maybe the worst time for this thing to happen.
I don't know. And I don't even know if Dave and them know, because all their responses is just, that's just the way it goes. Guys got to do their jobs.
It's just the way it is.
Yeah. Bullpen
Things will never be the same.
Honestly, I mean, with Trinan specifically, there is a question of, is age catching up, and can he still find that spark? Because when he does find the spark, it's typically, hey, you've been out for about 3 or so months, and you only have to go really hard for this specific playoff push. They tried that this season, but that style, you can't continue that multiple years. I mean, it's eventually going to catch up to you, and I hope that he still has some juice. But yeah, that's Trinan specifically. Everybody else, though, it's upsetting because Ohtani's doing something that you never see. I mean, I think A-Rod was the last person to hit 50 home runs back to back. I think the TV broadcast was saying that 2001 or 2002. So you're seeing something ridiculous happen, a Tungsten Armo Doyle situation, and the bullpen doing what they did. It really, really hurt. But I think
Judge didn't do it.
Yeah, I don't think Judge has actually done it.
I
Weirdly
think
enough,
Judge has done it. Yeah, I don't think he has. One of the comments from Brandy in the chat saying at the same time, Shohei should have fought a little harder to stay in the game. They caught it on the broadcast. It feels like they are letting him manage himself. They are so afraid.
because he
I
says
actually-
himself okay.
Yeah,
He's about
I
to.
think it's actually the opposite. I think it's Andrew Friedman, Dave Roberts putting a hard cap on it. And look, Shohei, I just don't think it's in his personality to go out there and fight for that sort of thing. I think generally a lot of those guys are going to go with whatever the manager says. In fact, the quotes after the game from Shohei are like, "Hey, look, whatever the manager wants, that's what I'm going to do." Like I'm the wrong person to ask about staying in the game. So, I don't think Shohei is going to, whatever his actual opinion is, I don't think he's ever going to voice that to Dave Roberts. Certainly not to reporters. I think at some point, and we've said this about Dodger teams in the past. Sometimes it feels like they get a little too rigid in their plans, right? When it comes to things like managing innings or building lineups or using your roster spots, it's like they come in with a plan, they stick to the plan come hell or high water, when I think a lot of us look around and say, well, sometimes the situation calls for something a little bit different. Last night it called for something a little bit different.
Yeah, sometimes you got to adjust, and that's just not what this team does. Like maybe it's no matter what, we just have to kind of deal with it. But this is 2 nights in a row, guys. Like we were talking about, this is Sheehan was just absolutely dominating, and because he gave up a double, sure, I get it. He gave the double, and so he was at 90 some pitches. Just let him go, man. Just let him go. And it's the same thing here. Just let him go. I mean, I understand.
They let him go 7.
They let him go 7.
He was over
They
100
let him go
pitches.
7 because he didn't have that many pitches. Yeah, because that's what you do. You trust your pitchers. I love the fact that they did get to him, but no matter what, you have to let these guys go. Let them see what they can do and get out of trouble, because you're going to get in trouble in the postseason. And with a bullpen like this, you have to be able to get out of those situations. It cannot go on like this. Let these dudes go, especially when you have this bad of a bullpen. I understand the argument of, okay, well, we got to get this bullpen back to being right. It's not right. It hasn't been right all year. This bullpen has never been good. We're just going through motions. It's the definition of an insanity, doing the same thing over and over again. It's getting very, very frustrating watching this over. And just one last thing, and I'll pass it to you. KD says, correct me if I'm wrong, but we had been having bullpen problems up until the postseason last year. Hopefully that they dial in next month when it really matters. Sure, they did not. They were great last year.
They were great last year.
They were the bullpen dogs
last year. That was the issue.
Exactly. The bullpen was phenomenal last year.
I got bad news for you, Greg.
Don't do this to me.
You're gonna see the bullpen tonight. It's Blake Snell on the mound, right?
Okay,
and
he only goes 6.
I was gonna say he's not gonna get you. He's not gonna get you super deep into the game. Now he can get you 5 or 6 really good innings. I think we can all expect that out of Snell. He can be lights out.
Yeah,
but it's only gonna be for 6 innings. So you're gonna see at least 3 innings of the bullpen tonight against the Phillies, which, by the way, the Phillies don't look scared at all of the Dodger bullpen. Like they seem to rejoice. I'm sure they popped a bottle of champagne when Shohei was out of the game last night. Like it's just anybody but him at this point.
That's what we usually feel. We usually feel, okay, let's just get your bullpen. And that's not the case.
No, it hasn't been the case. So yeah, it's Snell against Jesus Luzardo. The Phillies throwing 3 left-handers at the Dodgers this week. Again, offense has not really been the problem the last couple of nights. They got 5 on Monday. They got 6 last night against a really good pitching staff. So that hasn't been the issue. The issue it's not been starting pitching. It's not even been defense. It's
been one thing and one thing only. Marcus, I have a question for you.
Yes.
Just looking at Dave's comments towards the end about the bullpen and whether this is just a farce to get the question over with or not, but talking about it's just a confidence thing. I believe in the talent. Do you believe that this is just a confidence issue, or is there too much of a sample size to just say that no, this is who they are, and it's not necessarily confidence; it's a lack of skill at this point.
I think it's well at this point a confidence thing probably does factor into it, but at this point it's just something else. I don't know if it's that they're tipping pitches. I don't know if it's just that they can't locate consistently. I think it's a skill thing that has snowballed into a confidence thing. Look, Blake Trinan got the first 2 outs last night. There was 2 outs and nobody on, and then the whole thing just got away. And I don't know if it's a thing where he misses a couple of times, and then it's like, oh no, here we go again. Because when he gives up the walk, then he falls behind 3-0, so they intentionally walk the guy and then put Marchand at the plate, and then he hits the home run. I think it's a little more than a confidence thing at this point with some of these guys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I know Greg. I know for Dave, he's got to sort of try to continue to pump these guys up. He's never going to be the guy to come out and just trash people in the media, but it feels like it's more than a confidence thing now.
Yeah, it is more than. I mean, a lot of it is confidence, but they're going out there. They just look scared. They don't look like they have that confidence to go out there and actually get outs. They look like they're pressing too hard, and that's the other part of this too. This makes everybody else press. We're not in a situation where we can just calmly go through things. When everything's kind of clicking, you feel good, you feel great, everything's moving. Now they're like, okay, we have to put up 100 runs, otherwise this bullpen's going to blow it. Or the starting pitching, because that's what it was. The starting pitching was going hard, and the offense couldn't keep up with it. And then the bullpen would be like kind of okay. Now it's you have the starting pitching and the hitting all just really clicking together. They're on the same page, and now the bullpen is just falling. It makes these guys press more. Like, okay, we got the bases loaded. We can't just get a sac fly. We need to get a hit. We need that big home run. All this, and now you're pressing for it. It's very frustrating. I get that they're professionals and they don't think the same way that we do, but at the same time, it's not just confidence. I just think they don't have it this year. Bullpens are volatile, right?
Yeah.
Bullpens and kickers, man. Bullpens and kickers. Like when it goes, it just goes. A
lot of good points in the chat, though, and I just wanted to give the chat a big shout out because to be here with us, a lot of you guys this morning at 6:53. Yeah. It's a safe space. We can let it all out here. Man, I mean, listen, I've been, and I think a lot of people in the regular world, the non-professional baseball world, can relate to this. You've been at work and you've had stretches of just lack of confidence. You keep making that mistake, and then when you try to like overcompensate, it ends up getting even worse.
Yep.
The bullpen is in that situation, and it is really, really bad. Vesia, I know that everybody in the chat is saying he's the one dog left. It's going to take everybody to kind of get that mindset. Even if he is making mistakes, when he gets the big strikeout, he yells, he goes full bullpen dog. If everybody can take that mindset, maybe it works.
Yeah.
The Mookie mindset for the bullpen's not working.
No, it's not. Absolutely. Maybe it's just a little more emotion or something. Emotion that's not, surrender cobra, hands on head, frustration size, something like that. So.
You can't have that emotion when you're giving up home runs, Vesia.
Exactly.
So,
Yeah, there you go. All right, Dodgers trying to avoid the sweep tonight. Blake Snell against Jesus Luzardo, 7:10 first pitch time. So we'll see what happens then. Hopefully the Mets can stay hot against the Padres to at least keep the 2-game lead, if nothing else. So we'll see how that goes. Of course, back with you tomorrow, 6:30 to 6:55 here on the ESPN LA YouTube channel. Stick around. Sedano and Cap Morning Extravaganza coming up next. Thanks to everybody in the chat, like Parker said, for hanging out with us. Thanks to LAX, for Parker Bell, for Greg Bergman. We're in our frustrated Dodger bullpen era, but showing our hearts anyway. Stick around till tomorrow. I'm back. We're back. I'm going to just end this now because I feel
like you will be back. You're not wrong.
I'm feeling like the bullpen.
You're blowing it.